of you. And what is an emotion? And again, like a thought is an energy entity, an emotion too is an entity that is an energy form. You cannot see it, but you can only see how it manifests in the external world. But an emotion is an energy form that lives in you. If you recognize it, then there's an awareness there. Without awareness, often you can easily be run by your emotions. And that means the emotion, whether it be, let's say it could be anger, it could be sadness, could be anxiety, whatever it may be, deep regret, jealousy, envy, whatever it is, the emotion, this energy invades, which at first you might feel in the body, it then rises up into your mind, and then it controls your thinking. So when you feel deeply negative, then or angry, then the emotion rises into your mind, and every thought reflects the emotion that you feel, because the emotion is thinking through you. And the emotion is feeding on your thoughts. So the loop happens, the vicious circle. The emotion creates thought, and the thought amplifies the emotion. So in the case of anger, you get more and more angry. The more you think about it, the more angry you get. Until finally you lash out, completely lost. As you know, if you're probably aware of the term I use, pain body. Pain body is the term I use for an accumulation of old emotion that still lives in you. It's unrecognized as emotion. It lives in you as an entity. It's an accumulation of negative emotion, or often goes back to early childhood. An accumulation of negative emotion that hasn't left you, that dwells in your body somewhere, and I call it the pain body. And it's helpful to look at it as a little entity, almost, an entity that lives in you, a gremlin that lives in you. And sometimes it's dormant for periods of time, but it cannot stay dormant forever. It has to occasionally rise up into your mind, and then suddenly you get taken over by this old emotion. Sometimes it's triggered by an event, and you do usually know it's the pain body when the reaction to a triggering event is out of proportion to the triggering event. The reaction is far greater than would be warranted by the triggering event, and that usually means it has triggered old latent emotion in you, the pain body. It's come to life, and then it takes over your mind. And you are no longer you then. You are the pain body. You are the old emotion. And the pain body loves not only negative thinking, because every negative thought feeds it. Thought is energy. It feeds the emotion, and the emotion gets even stronger. It is also when you feel very bad about your life. You're very unhappy about your life, what you call your life. It's a narrative. What you call your life is a narrative. It's a sequence of thoughts in your mind that are repetitive. The repetitive sequence of thoughts is what you call your life. And for many people, this thing that they call my life is a huge, burdensome, dreadful thing that they carry around, that is a very unhappy thing, my life. Whenever I start thinking about my life, I get more and more unhappy. I'm not talking about me, I'm just, whenever I think about my life, I get more and more unhappy. And the more unhappy I get, the more I want to think about it. It's I call it what arises here is the addiction to unhappiness. Why is it addictive? Because the emotion wants more of it. It's more of itself. It wants to be fed by the thinking that reflects the same energy with it's the vibrational frequency, so to speak, of the emotion. So every negative thought feeds the negative emotion. A positive thought cannot feed the negative emotion. And this is how the pain body operates. It then goes to whoever is around you at the time, your partner or at work or family member, and the emotion will then speak through you and say something negative in order to provoke a similar emotion in the other person. It's all unconscious. It's the unobserved mind, lack of awareness. The unobserved mind gets taken over. It gets taken over by toxic thoughts. It gets taken over by emotions that arise. They could be your old emotions from the past, the pain body, that come up periodically and then subside once you've had a drama in your relationship lasting for an hour or two or the whole day. Then the pain body subsides, and the next day you wake up, you're a bit more conscious again, and the emotion has subsided. Your mind is not quite as crazy as yesterday. It's still not conscious, but not quite as crazy as yesterday. And you wake up, and then you can't even remember what it was all about, the drama that you had with your whoever it was. You think, how did it all start? So again, lack of awareness, through lack of awareness, you are at the mercy of your emotional fields. So the moment awareness comes in, the emotion may still be there, but you're no longer totally possessed by it or trapped in it. The power of the present moment arises the moment you become aware. And aware is you're the observer of your inner states. And then you're no longer at the mercy of your inner states. Freedom arises. And so the emotion, for example, cannot renew itself anymore through using your mind, because then you say, I don't want that. You recognize a dysfunctional way in which the emotion is linking up into your mind, and you come into the present moment. And again, breathing, and deep breathing, deep into the abdomen a few times, and your attention follows the breath. That's the important part.